I will do anything. Just bring them back home. One viewer asked me, when does doing what's right feel wrong? And thank you for that question, Kathy.
One example.
You have someone in your life that you love, that you would do anything for. And this person is a drug addict. So you keep them in your home. They steal from you. They do all these things, but you keep allowing it because you love them. You think in your heart that you single-handedly have the power to save your loved one and get them off of drugs. But in your mind, you know that if you don't kick them out of the house, they will continue to use drugs and they will hurt you and everyone in your house. So you finally get up the courage and you kick them out. And it hurts you and it feels wrong. And you cry, you pray, and you beg God and say, God, I will do anything. Anything. Just bring them back home. Bring them back home and get them off drugs for good, forever. Please, if you do that, I will do anything. And in times when things feel really wrong, you feel like a bad person, you feel like a bad daughter or a bad mother or a bad wife or a bad friend, but you know you did the right thing, it still hurts. That's when you grow spiritually. And consequently, you help that person and yourself. And if you don't do it, you hurt them and yourself. By not setting boundaries and by not saying no and by doing everything that feels okay in the moment, it hurts us all long term. The longer we wait to tell the truth, the longer we wait to set boundaries, the more it hurts all of us. We can use a helicopter view. We can look to the future and see, if I don't do this thing that feels wrong, even though I know it's right, what would the future be like? Let's think of how much pain the future, because for me, I like to think of how painful it would be, because if it's going to be, I don't want it if it's painful. I'm trying to make a better future, okay? So think about how much pain I've had in the past. So in 1 year, if I don't kick this person out of my house, this person that I love with all my heart that I would die for, in a year, where would they be? And where would I be as a consequence? If I don't kick them out, maybe they would die in my house. I had that happen with a friend of mine. She was a nurse, and her brother actually died on her couch, and she saw him in the morning, and she went by and she thought he was sleeping. She felt guilty about it. She still feels guilty to this day, which is why I don't talk to her anymore, because that is contagious, okay? But she feels guilty about it to this day. She never got over it. And so her income went lower. She lives in a worse house. She looks terrible. She feels terrible. Her health is terrible. And she's no longer in the healthcare field. So I don't want my whole life to get worse. That's why I look at the future. I want to look at the future. And that's what you want to do. If I don't do this thing that feels wrong, how will my life and the other person's life be if I don't do it? How will I be hurting them? How will I be hurting that person and myself if I don't do the thing that feels wrong but is actually right long term for everybody? And it's wrong if I don't do it. How would it be? This is Liberty v. Justice. No period in my V because my victory is never ending. Yours don't have to either, my friends.
You're worth it. Subscribe.